Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 38437 Miller Street here in Sandy. We're located at the front of the house. I describe everything as if you're standing out in the street facing the front of the home, front of the door, front of the house in general. We've got a 3-inch ABS cleanout here as our point of access. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. This is one we're taking a little, it's actually fairly easy to figure this out if you shine a flashlight through the foundation vent on the left side of the home, but at that front left corner, you can see the line here punches out at an angle right under this vent. I know someone was originally digging out here like it shot out the front. It actually comes out the side here, this little pop out. And where the clean out is, it lines up almost perfectly too with this little window here to the left of the door. Got a 3-inch ABS clean out. Water is running. We're going to zero the foot counter out at the base of the clean out. Off we go. Yeah, if you try and look through the foundation vent at the front of the house, it's kind of deceiving. It's hard. It kind of looks like the line might be shooting straight out the front. It turns as it leaves the house. Anyhow, nice steep downward trajectory here. Dive, dive, dive. There's our transition over to 3034 PVC pipe. What appear to be 4-inch diameter there. We will get a better view on the way out, though, of some of those transitions. It's entirely possible we might be in 6-inch pipe. We may have hit a transition that was hidden by the water. So far, though, very nice flow and quite a clean sewer line. Almost no grease or any fats whatsoever built up in the line, which is very nice to see. And that right there is the main lateral connection. This line terminates straight into the manhole. So we're going to go locate that really quick here while the pipe drains out. This is one of those you can just look through the manhole cover and see the camera down there. Easy peasy. And then we'll take a second look at everything as we come back in. Thus, I don't think we're going to find anything. So far, this thing looks great. All right, the line terminates at the manhole. It's just about straight out from the driveway. You've got, if you know what a driveway skirt is, that's where the driveway flares out to the shape of a skirt right as it approaches the street. The line crosses the curb right across that left point of the driveway skirt. Right down the middle of that skirt, just where the concrete kind of turns into a point at the end of the driveway. Pretty straight shooting sewer line, all said and done. It kind of turns away from the house and then just runs basically straight out to the road to the manhole. Line is fully drained at this point. And a little bit of debris you do have there on the sidewall, as you can tell, it's kind of peeling off the pipe bottom. What that actually looks like is the remnants of a past main lateral backup, where the main lateral itself, the city's main, backs up. That looks like dried out deposits from a previous backup scenario. That's just what it looks like. And manholes are a little bit more prone to that. Anytime you have a manhole convergence, the average road, about every 4th, 5th house will tie directly into the manhole, where the rest of them will just tee directly onto the main. Manholes are essentially designed to gather debris on purpose. It's an easy spot for a human being to get down in there and clean stuff out. So if you get a neighbor upstream that has a bad habit of putting paper towels down the toilet, they tend to collect in the manhole. And if you get enough of them there, they can block up and back up any house tied directly to the manhole, anything back upstream from it. Okay, the manhole here looked clean and clear, but just so you are aware, things like flushable wipes, not that you should put them down your line anyway, paper towels, and I include flushable wipes in the improper category. They're terrible. And if you put a lot of them down your line, especially if they're balled up, many of them will get hung up in the manhole, but especially so improper stuff. Truly improper things like paper towels, stuff that don't disintegrate in any way. Flushable wipes are slightly less terrible than paper towels are. They tend to react the same way. You've got a little bit of gunk right here in and around where this clean out or the transition is. I'm going to do a quick toilet flush just to see if that stuff blows out of the way there.
I
as my camera was coming back in there, I think it was scraping some of that junk loose and pulling it with the camera behind it. And as I went over that joint there, it squeegeed it off the camera. I want to make sure there wasn't anything underneath it. And that toilet flush just took all that junk away there. That was just the remnants of what my camera was dragging with it. Anyway, transition joint there looks tight, intact. All the PVC pipe drains off very nicely. This line's got a really nice steep downhill run here. That is just almost a straight vertical drop there until the transition joint. Alright, we're going to flip the camera around here for just a moment and go backwards. Everything from the clean out access to the main lateral connection is in good condition, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time. And again, flow line here is just spiffy clean. That by and large, there's a little bit of gunk out there. I don't think that's related to the homeowners. The flow line throughout this whole thing is spotless. And that gets that way and stays that way by one living habit, by and large, and that's not putting cooking oil and grease down your line. Fats in general, which is a very good maintenance item to keep up with, especially if you have little kids in the house that are still balling their toilet paper up the size of a softball when they flush it. That grease buildup is after 13 years and almost 25,000 sewer scopes now, grease buildup is more concerning to me than a lot of structural issues. And it's a very common problem. And it just comes from dumping your pans of cooking oil down the sink. It builds up throughout the line, just turns your pipe into a sticky mess. It slows everything down, and when it does stop, it gets stuck to it. And blockages that end up occurring, if your kids create a toilet paper blockage, balled up toilet paper, it sticks really good. It acts like glue. And those blockages become much less likely to bust loose on their own naturally, which a lot of them do under head pressure. That grease acts like glue, and it can allow that blockage to withstand a lot more head pressure building up behind it. So I would keep doing what these folks are. Wipe your pans out with a paper towel or pour the grease into a jar, and you can keep your line nice and clean. Anyway, nice looking line there. Functions beautifully.